didn't even know it was a mood swing. Okay? That makes it even more of a mood swing.
Fingers down my spine. Girl, you look mighty fine. Won't you rub your fingers down my spine?
Discovered that I was having my period. It was Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, you remember exactly?
I do. It was Thanksgiving 1996. And I was home. And we were in the downstairs
Now
area.
you were a little older because I was 11 and I was devastated.
Yeah, I was 13.
Yeah, I was just like, no, I can't do this every month.
And I was downstairs, so I wasn't in my personal bathroom. And I just had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Use the ladies' room. So it was the powder room. Go in there and use the bathroom. And when I go to wipe, front to back, front to back.
Yeah, very important.
And I saw this. It was not red. It was
like the dark brown color.
It was not brown. It was a peach, I guess you could say, which was different than the non-color on the tissue.
Right.
So I knew immediately something was wrong. I am not supposed to showing any type of color other than this clear. When I wipe, maybe even a little yellow because of the pee. So I knew something was wrong immediately. Mommy, oh my God, Mommy. So, and what ultimately happened, my father addressed me first and was like, okay, hold on. Let me get your mother. Because he already knew what was going on.
Right. He's like,
I didn't know.
Out of my lane. Let me get the mom.
Let me get your mama. And so she took me upstairs. Oh, I will never forget this. She took me upstairs. We closed the door. This was the most intimate that I had ever been with my mother. And I was sitting on the toilet. I was crying, Mother, what's wrong with me? And my inside's gonna come out. Like, what's wrong? I didn't even know what a uterus was. I didn't even know what a period was.
Right.
So I do suggest a lot of you viewers, please talk to your daughters. Let them be in the know prior to.
Right.
Don't be reactive, be proactive. So
and,
that
and
they
start early.
Yes.
Because like I started at 11, you were 13. And now times have changed a little bit.
I've
you
heard
need to
8.
start. You need to start early, just preparing them.
Exactly. Having those talks.
Because
even
they could be
if
at
they're
school.
uncomfortable to you, that's building a trust and a bond with your daughter so that she can come to you. So after my mother closed the door, she had all of these products and I didn't know what was going on. I had this pad here that literally looked like a diaper. It was thick. It went from the front to the back.
And thick. It was right.
Like this.
Because you got to think about it, times have changed, but back then you didn't have a lot of options like you have now.
And they don't talk about it back then like they do now. Please talk.
Right.
Please.
They gave you what they had, and it was just uncomfortable. You sitting and you moving and you trying to go from left to right. And then my fear was, can someone, even though you have on
see
clothes,
it?
can they see the print of like, you have this huge sanitary
And then you're the laughing stock of the whole class because they know that you are on your menstrual cycle. So after she closed the door with all of these products, she said, your body at this time has now evolved. And I was like, Mom, I don't know what you're talking about at all.
And I'm scared. And like, fix this.
It's bleeding. And she went through and she explained that your body will bleed anywhere between 3 to 5 days. Your uterine wall will shed all of its inner workings and just cleanse itself and ultimately prepare to host an embryo. At 13 for my situation. And I was very scared because I didn't know, was this something that I did to myself? Was this something that I could stop or prevent? I just didn't know.
Right. And it's just to tell you that we have to have the talk. Exactly. Because
and don't be afraid to have the talk.
Exactly. all of this is going through our heads. And of course, if you're viewing, it went through your head. So what experience that you have had when you first discovered that you are becoming a woman, that now the different conversation needs to have. And I would say my mom did not have the sex talk with me, but only thing is, now that you're having a cycle, you can become a mother.
Yeah.
What?
Once you get
Right.
some sperm.
Right. And then, but then my mom used scare tactics on me after that, of like,
Girl.
you know, don't kiss a boy, because then you know, if you kiss a boy, then you can become pregnant. I'm like,
I heard that too.
Right. So whatever scare tactic she used, it stayed in my mind, because I was like, nope, don't touch me, don't kiss me, because now that I'm having this cycle that I can become a mom, and no. And so a lot of things that parents use as scare tactics. So how did you get over your fear of, like, you know, once she had this talk and she had to explain all of these products to you, how was it for you, like at 13, like to say, I have to deal with this now for, you know, months on end?
So I do have to give my mother credit. She was very thorough with explaining this new situation that was happening to me. This is going to happen to you because you are now able to bear a child. And how it works, depending on your body, is every 28 to 30 days, your body will bleed for 3 to 5 days, depending on your cycle. The first thing she gave me and told me was a calendar. You need to know your dates at any given time. And of course, the doctor reiterated that. Once I, went into my cycle, the doctor was now notified, and the doctor said, well, now you have a cycle calendar. Right. And so every 8 days, I marked off my calendar.
So
my
then
cycle.
you can prepare, you can start wearing, for us, it was, you start wearing the light days, or the little panty liners is what they call them now. And so you will not be embarrassed, because that was a fear for me.
Oh.
And I'm in middle school of
that. Middle school.
That it happens and you're at school and you're not prepared. So then I had to start taking, products with me
to school
to make sure that, it happens.
That I don't bleed through my pants.
Through your pants. And then wear dark colored pants, because my thing was, I'm just going to wear black pants the entire time.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Which actually, if you were listening to our previous podcast, you have to know when to sleep with protected and with not protected.
That's right.
Because, honey, if you are not protected at night, you are washing sheets in the morning.
Right. All the way through sheets and mattress.
Cold water.
And everything. So please have the talk. If you have young ladies out there, and don't be afraid. Like I said, baby steps, and if you're not comfortable, and talk about your experience, and that'll help them understand what they have coming. And then as you get older, we talk about mood swings and different things that happen while you're on your cycle, which it's a job being a woman and a young lady, I tell you.
I think I was about 14 years old, and I was probably about to start my cycle. And there was a shirt, I was getting ready for school, there was a sweater that I was looking for, and I could not find it for the life of me. And when I came downstairs, I kirked out, Mommy, I don't understand. Where is my sweater? I can't find it. All she could do, ladies, was hug me. Because one, she knew I was going through this mood swing. I could not find my sweater that I wanted to wear, that I had my heart set on. And she recognized that and just hugged me, which was exactly what I needed.
Exactly. Right.
And I will take that with me for the rest of my life. Because I came down those steps.
Kim needs a hug when she's having a mood swing.
Please.
During her monthly cycle.
But no, take that with you, with your friends, friends, with your spouse, with your loved ones, with your everyone. Like, that's what we need. That reassurance. Everything is going to be
because your
okay.
body, our body is just going through this emotional and this, all these things are happening on the inside, and you don't understand, and you're just moody. You're just moody. And
I want chocolate.
Nothing is going right.
I want some chocolate.
Right. The brain is off. I need chocolate. I need
Salt.
Salt, a drink, something. But people in your life don't understand that.
Right.
That those days leading up to, could be leading up to, during your cycle, after your cycle, our body is just changing and moving, and all of these things are happening, and we get irritated quickly. And nothing seems to be right, or some people get quiet. Some people do not have mood swings. That's fine.
True too.
That's great. Or you get headaches, or you get, some people go through the really bad, cramping and all of that stuff. But you have to have a support system. And, my mom would always say when she was going through her change, she was going through her mood swings when she was going through the cycle, but then also going through, and that's another podcast.
Next podcast.
Right, menopause and premenopausal, all of those things that women go through that your loved ones in your family may not understand. But it is very serious. And sometimes, like Kia needed a hug, I just need to be left alone.
I know some people will know, oh, you're going through your cycle, because I'll be very demanding or very bossy. What do you mean you left the toilet seat up?
You left it up the other 25 days, but these 3 to 5 days,
How
I need
dare
it down.
you? I need them down. What else? I need you to pump my gas. Like, I can pump gas on my own, but this week I need you to pump my gas.
Right.
I mean, it can be anything,
Yeah, really.
and it can come at any time.
Right.
Just wanting you to be cognizant of that and aware. We are still human.
Right. And we still love you during that time. It's just that we may not show it.
And we're very vocal.
Right.
Very vocal.
Right. So I hope you enjoyed this little, segment about, we done went from mood swings. We done went from, talking to your young ladies about what their bodies may be going through. And it doesn't stop when it just happens. They will have questions throughout their young lives about how to deal with certain things about their bodies changing. And we didn't even touch on when you start growing breasts. I thought I had a lump in my chest. And my mom was like, no, it's your breasts growing. I'm like, okay, but they don't look like yours. I'm thinking they're instantly supposed to be a size, but it starts out as a knot and things like that. I remember when I first felt that knot, and I ran to my mom, and I was just like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me.
I don't remember. I just woke up and they were there. I'm being honest. And this is the one situation. So I went to public school, and you could, there's no uniform. And I used to stay in my mother's closet. So I always looked older because of wearing her clothes. And one of the outfits that she had was this oversized vest. And you wear
like a tube top.
Like a tube top right over the breast. And so I was like, bet, I'm going to wear it. I'm going to rock it whoop, whoop, with some jeans. So I was there. I had just finished math class, and we were good. But what I did not realize was the vest had drooped down past the side boob area. Oh. And I had let the tube top go. I would never forget Shannon. She said, Kia, you need to take care of it. Because it had shown through the side boob.
Wow. So that was your first experience.
And that was 8th grade, that like, I have these breasts. These are something that I need to adjust my life to make
your
sure
clothing. Right.
Exactly that I cover them at all times.
At all times.
Because thinking that the vest, went of course over the front. but it did not cover the side, which is what the tube top was supposed to cover. But at
that
the
had
point,
slid down.
the tube top had gone down to right underneath. And I was like, okay, well, nobody's, can see because I got this vest.
Yeah.
But from the side boob, you get full angle that,
yeah.
before side boob was ready.
Right. Before side boob was ready. Well, mine is a little different. My family, my mom and my grandmother, and I was blessed with them, was always top heavy.
Yes, breast.
Top heavy. And growing up in middle school and all of that stuff, as they start growing and getting bigger, I was very self-conscious of mine. So I would always wear things that were, to cover because I was, and I was very, very, very thin growing up. So all I had was, as people used to say, I really had really long hair and big boobs. So I would just, and to this day, actually, I'm very cautious about, wearing the very low or, and I know you can be sexy and all of that stuff. But me being as a young lady, my mom was very conscious of what I would wear. As a young lady, again, growing up. And so her thing was, cover up and all of that and make sure I had the right size supporting bra.
That is very important.
Growing up, and now as we're young ladies to make sure, I think it's a lot of us probably out right size, right? Because we got a whole lot of side going on.
Side
boob, we got the back, we got, all of this stuff and the push-ups and the side and the minimize. I mean, there's just so many options. But back then, as you're a young lady, that wasn't my thing. Is I just wanted to cover and be comfortable in the underwires and all of that. So I was a little different. I would always wear stuff because, as I said, I only had long hair and big boobs. And so, the young teenage guys going through what they were going through, would always make comments. And I was always self-conscious of having these large girls.
The girls are out.
The girls up, And so mine was a little different. So I would have probably just ran out of school if I would have had your incident where something had just what was it? Outfit malfunction.
Right. Wardrobe malfunction. Immediately. I need a dismissal. Thank you.
Right.
Have a nice day.
So I would have probably just passed out if I would have looked down. But again, it goes back to, what our what our moms and things taught us about growing up. And like I said, I remember when it first started happening, it was like a little knot. One started growing before the other one.
Yes. They say, what is it? Your left side is bigger than your right side?
I can attest to that. Right. And so when I felt it one day, and I was just like, I ran to my mom, I was like, oh my God, I need to go to the hospital. I have a knot. And she's like, that's your boob growing, but it's a knot, So again, have that conversation with your young ladies because they may think that they just one day, there they are, but it has to start somewhere. And so when they're doing, they may be of young age and they may not know what that knot is. And then you got to go through the whole training bra situation.
Right.
I'm like, I can't even remember the training bra. But,
I don't remember training bra at all. It was immediately B cups. Immediately.
So you just remember waking up and
here's
there
your bra. Put this on with your panties and have a nice day. Oh, and make sure they match.
Make sure they match. Now that my mom did say, make sure they match. Or anyway, if you have an accident and they have to cut your clothes off, you want to make sure that your bra and panties match.
Always have clean bra and panties
on.
That match.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's like just have fun with your conversation with your young ladies, and so they will not go through some of the things that we went through.
Right, because that honestly is the truth. The conversation, like you build a special bond with your daughter, with your mother. They're gonna come to you. They're gonna ask real questions. Be honest.
Because your daughter is
6,
and she already has little questions about different things.
Mom, right? What are those?
Right.
Well, these kept you and your brother alive. This is what you ate off of for the first 3 to 6 months. You know? So this is what they are.
Right.
And you are going to get some.
Right. See, she made it fun.
And when you get some, make sure that you measure them so you know the exact size.
That's right.
And you can accommodate for the
You
size.
won't have a malfunction of a side boob coming out.
Side boob is not cute.
Side boob's not cute. At any age, side boob is not cute, you know.
Hold on. Sometimes I do have to say some side boob is cute though. When you're in the bikini, that I say is cute. I see you, girl.
I see, right.
Girl, I see you. Because those side boobs are cute. Ooh.
Okay, I take that back.
But like
Yeah,
if you're
right.
an E or an F, no. Just side.
We're not hating on the E's and the F's, you know, but you just might have to
You
get
got
some extra
a little
tape,
different
you know.
side boob.
Right. You know, there's things now that you can tape.
We're not hating on anybody.
Right. No.
Because we come in all shapes and sizes.
We do. And we are beautiful.
That's another thing. Enjoying who you are. Embracing who you are.
Yeah.
Loving yourself. And your side boob.
And your side boob. And in middle school and in high school, I did not want, I just didn't. It was just embarrassing and you know, so no. I can't remember exactly what they would say, but it was just very degrading. And back then, I mean, they were the boys were going through their hormones too.
Exactly.
And so to see this, you know, like I said, all I had was hair and boobs. I was skinny. I was probably about 80 pounds in high school, 80, 90 pounds. And so all you're seeing is just this and the hair. So, no, it was not encouraging. It was not, I would go home and tell my mom that, you know, I don't want big boobs, but my mom had them, my grandmother had them. And then I'm like, okay, I got blessed with them too. So I would try different things. Like I said, I would wear different tops and sweaters and over things to make them look
to
smaller.
mask it.
Yeah.
She would mask it.
Yeah.
Think about all who do not have, you know, who are considered the mosquito.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got people that's on the reverse side that are small that want, you know. Now you can pay for it. Back then, you know, you can get as large as you like.
Oh my gosh.
And then also you can have reductions. Exactly. Oh, I would go to the doctor as I got older and say, you know, can I get a reduction and all of that stuff and so it just, you know, it's a hard balance to find,
really is.
You know. And so then you just have to deal with what God has blessed you with. So I say be confident in whatever size you are.
What God gave you.
Right.
Be happy with what God gave you.
Right. But growing up, that's a hard thing to say because there's so many cruel people out there that'll say certain things and say, you know, guys and girls back then because they didn't know how to accept what was going on in their body. So they criticized what they saw other people, you know. So as I said, have conversations with your young ladies out there and with your sons as well, so they can respect the young ladies as they're growing up and their bodies are changing.
I didn't even think about that. As I have a 6-year-old daughter, to now have that same conversation with my 8-year-old son. You know, not to criticize people as what their body is now changing, growing. You know, into.
Exactly, right. So this was just a quick segment for us girls to stick together as, you know, women and talk to our young ladies so they can understand what's going through with their bodies so they will be aware of what is to come. And don't be afraid. Start early. Start early with a conversation.
Yes.
And then it goes into the work-life balance.
I 110% concur with Karen. It's all about the communication. As early as possible, educate our young female. The more we know, the better we grow.
And with that, all right, until next time. I think we've had so many of these.
I'm finished.